Hey everyone, how's it going? Jenazad here. In this video, we'll be going over every character's best echoes and why. But first, let's also explain the best way to obtain and upgrade them. This guide will focus on using gold echoes, but they'll still apply at lower levels. Also, a tip for hitting level 15 databank is make sure that you've caught at least purple rank on most of the echoes listed, otherwise that might be the issue. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's first start with all the main stat and substat rolls on echoes. First, you have the main stats of the common class echoes: HP percent, attack percent, defense percent. Then we have the elite echoes: HP percent, attack percent, defense percent, arrow damage, glacio damage, fusion damage, electro damage, havoc damage, spectro damage, and energy regen. Then we have the 4-cost echoes: HP percent, attack percent, defense percent, crit rate, crit damage, and healing bonus. Next we have the substats of all echoes: flat HP, flat attack, flat defense, HP percent, attack percent, defense percent, crit rate, crit damage, energy regen, basic attack damage bonus, heavy attack damage bonus, resonance skill damage bonus, and resonance liberation damage bonus. That's a lot of stats in total, which is why all of your echoes are rolling like garbage. Echoes are the gear in the game, and you can technically farm them endlessly if you first clear your world, then hop to another to continue your genocide of all life. All echoes drop from enemies, but not all echoes are equal. Some are much easier to farm than others, and this means you should be more lenient towards them when upgrading. Most characters will use a crit chance or crit damage 4-cost echo, 2 element damage percent as a 3-cost echo, and attack percent 1-cost echoes. But it's much easier to get the 1-cost and 4-cost since bosses respawn fast and have a smaller pool of main stats, while 1-cost enemies only have 3 total main stats and are plentiful on the map. Also, when building a character, they can't use 2 of the same echo enemy type, which for some 3-cost echoes makes it really difficult, such as Electro, which only has 2 total elite enemy types. Also, some elite monsters don't really have many spawns on the map and are more difficult to find. Another limiter is the premium tuners and echo XP. Even though you can farm endlessly, these gate your progress towards gearing, meaning that if you have a lot of time, it may be better to be super strict on your echo rolls because you can just keep farming them if they get a bad roll initially. If one hits defense in the first roll on a 1 or 4-cost echo, maybe you should just get another piece because they aren't as rare. However, on a 3-cost with perfect stats, you might be more desperate since farming them is a total pain and they have more variance. Tuners are the ultimate gatekeeper, so make sure you don't waste them. You can always get another echo, but tuners use wave plates to farm. Also, to obtain more echo XP and tuners, I generally spam the tacit fields using wave plates since I don't really need many other upgrade materials past level 30 union level at the moment. Also, when feeding an already upgraded echo to one another, you get a small refund of resources. Now that I've explained most of the basic principles, let's get to the character echoes. First, we have the Spectro main character. They're part DPS and part support, so they use the Celestial Light set with Morning Ikes as their main echo. They use either crit damage or crit rate 4-cost echoes, 2 3-cost Spectro damage echoes, and 2 attack percent 1-cost echoes. They generally value crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, but also would like some energy regeneration for their ultimate. Next we have the Havoc Rover. They're a full DPS burst damage dealer, and they use the Sun Sinking Eclipse Havoc set with Dreamless as their main echo. They use crit damage or crit rate as their 4-cost, 2 Havoc damage percent 3-cost echoes, and 2 attack percent 1-cost echoes. They generally prioritize crit rate, crit damage, and attack percent, but a little bit of energy regeneration can also be helpful. They also do a lot of damage with their resonance liberation and their basic attacks, so extra percentages of those as substats are pretty decent. Next we have our general Jiyan. Jiyan is a full DPS that uses the Sierra Gale set with Felian Berengal as his main echo. He uses either crit rate or crit damage 4-cost echo, 2 arrow damage 3-cost echoes, or an arrow damage 3-cost echo and an energy regen 3-cost echo, and 2 attack percent 1-cost echoes. As Jiyan is a character that relies heavily on his ultimate, it can be incredibly useful to get energy regeneration so that you're able to upkeep it. He also prioritizes crit rate, crit damage, and attack percent, with heavy attack damage also coming in very useful as all attacks during his ult are considered heavy attacks. Next we have Verina, considered one of the best supports in the game. She will always use the Rejuvenating Glow set as it does give damage to your entire team, with the main echo Belboran Geocalone. The 4 cost will either be healing bonus or attack percent, 2 3-cost energy regeneration, and 2 attack percent 1-cost echoes, as she does scale off of attack. Generally, you should focus on energy regeneration and attack percent for her healing. Calcharo is another big damage dealer that prioritizes the Void Thunder set with the Flautist as his main echo. He uses either the crit damage or crit rate 4-cost echo, 2 3-cost electro damage echoes, 2 1-cost attack percent echoes. He prioritizes crit rate and crit damage with attack percent, although a little bit of energy regeneration can help upkeep his ultimate. Also, he does do a lot of damage of mixed amounts, so any percent increases of attack percent, resonance liberation, or skill damage can go a long way on him. Encore, the cute DPS, uses the Molten Rift set with Inferno Rider as her main echo. She uses crit damage or crit rate 4-cost echoes, 2 3-cost fusion damage echoes, and 2 1-cost attack percent echoes. She prioritizes crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, but she also needs a little bit of energy regeneration for her ultimate. Also, when doing her ultimate, she uses a lot of basic attacks, so that substat can go a long way. Next, we have everybody's favorite character, Lingyang. Lingyang uses the Freezing Frost set with Lampilumen Myriad as his main echo. His 4 cost are crit damage and crit rate, 2 3-cost Glacio damage echoes, and 2 1-cost attack percent echoes. Lingyang prioritizes crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, and he does actually want a significant amount of energy regeneration for his ultimate. He also does a lot of basic attacks while using his passive, so prioritize some of that on his substats. Mortefi is a damage dealing support, and as such uses the Moonlit Cloud set. His main echo is the Impermanence Heron. His 4 cost should be crit damage or crit rate with 2 3-cost fusion damage elite echoes and 2 1-cost attack percent echoes. Mortefi should try and focus on crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, but he does want a decent breakpoint of energy regeneration, possibly up to 50% to upkeep his ultimate. Sanhua is another damage dealing support character that can sometimes be used as a main DPS. She generally uses the Moonlit Cloud set with the main echo being Impermanence Heron. She uses the 4 cost of crit damage or crit rate, 2 3-cost Glacio damage echoes, and 2 1-cost attack percent echoes. Sanhua focuses purely on crit rate, crit damage, and attack percent, but as she'll be swapping in sometimes to do a heavy burst, resonance liberation damage can go a decent way. Also, some energy regeneration can help her. Danjin is a heavy damage dealer that uses the Sun Sinking Eclipse set. Also, Dreamless is their main echo. They use the 4 cost of crit damage or crit rate, 2 3-cost Havoc damage echoes, and 2 1-cost attack percent echoes. Danjin prioritizes crit rate and crit damage and attack percent, with a little bit of heavy damage or resonance skill damage going a long way for her DPS. Jiyan is a damage dealing / support character that can either use the Sierra Gale set or the Moonlit Cloud set, with her main echo being either the Philian Berengal or the Impermanence Heron. Her 4 cost are crit damage or crit rate, 2 3-cost arrow damage echoes, and 2 1-cost attack percent echoes. She prioritizes crit rate, crit damage, attack percent. However, energy regeneration can be very helpful to use her ultimate more often, especially for grouping enemies in the Tower of Adversity. She also benefits from heavy damage for her Forte attack. Yangyang is a damage dealing support that prioritizes the Moonlit Cloud set, with the Impermanence Heron being her main echo. She uses either crit damage or crit rate 4 cost, 2 3-cost arrow damage echoes, or one of them energy regeneration, and 2 1-cost attack percent echoes. She prioritizes crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, but does want some energy regeneration to be able to upkeep her ultimate. Chixia is a sub DPS that uses the Molten Rift set with the Inferno Rider as her main echo. Her 4 cost is either crit damage or crit rate with 2 3-cost fusion damage echoes and 2 1-cost attack percent echoes. She focuses on crit rate, crit damage, and attack percent with as much energy regeneration as you can possibly get on substats so that she can use her ult more often in her rotations. Baizhi is the only free healer in the game and uses the Rejuvenating Glow set with the Bellborn Geochalone as her main echo. She uses either the 4-cost healing bonus or HP percent, 2 3-cost energy regeneration echoes, and 2 1-cost HP percent echoes. She prioritizes energy regeneration and HP percent. Aalto is a damage dealing support that uses the Moonlit Cloud set with the Impermanence Heron as his main echo. He uses the 4-cost crit damage or crit rate, 2 3-cost arrow damage echoes, or 1 arrow damage, 1 energy regeneration, and 2 1-cost attack percent echoes. He prioritizes crit rate, crit damage, and attack percent, but also wants a significant amount of energy regeneration as substats, possibly up to 50% to be able to upkeep his ultimate in his rotation. Yuanwu is a support DPS that wants the Moonlit Cloud set with with the Impermanence Heron being his main echo. His 4-cost is either crit damage or crit rate, with 2 3-cost electro damage echoes, and 2 1-cost defense percent echoes. He prioritizes crit rate, crit damage, defense percent, and energy regeneration. Taoqi is a tanky support DPS that prioritizes either the Rejuvenating Glow set or the Moonlit Cloud set, either using the Bellborn Geochillone or the Impermanence Heron as her main echo. Her 4-cost should be defense percent when supporting the team, with the 3-cost either being energy regeneration or defense percent for both, with 2 1-cost defense percent echoes. Now she prioritizes defense percent and energy regeneration. That's all the characters in Wuthering Waves. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like or subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you next time.